Hey guys, it's Jeff from Press Your Luck, and it is June, it's summer, and June is Pride. Now, you know, I take pride in my food, I take pride in who I am, I feel like we should all take pride in who we are. I just feel like it's a month to celebrate who you are, and especially to celebrate some delicious food. Now, if there's anything that comes to mind this month for me, it's going to be sausage. And I gotta tell you, I love sausage so much. I have some of my best recipes being sausage. My sausage and shells pasta being pretty much one of the best ever, as well as my spicy sausage pasta. Not to mention my sausage and spinach soup, which is basically a zuppa toscana, but like to 10 times the level. I don't mean to sound so cocky, but sometimes I'm a cockeyed optimist. So today, I figured we're gonna tackle a super easy dish, a classic Italian dish, and it's what? What are we gonna make? We're making sausage and peppers, guys. Sausage and peppers, but not just any sausage and peppers. If you know me, I have my own little spin on things, and this one is going to have an amazing creamy touch at the very end, because what's some sausage without a little bit of cream mixed in? But don't worry, if you don't like your sausage creamy, it's totally optional. And I also make sure that my sausage is either cut or uncut. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. It's all gonna be delicious. So let's go right to the Instant Pot and make the most amazing sausage and peppers Parmesan ever. Let's go. So even though I call it sausage and peppers, this wouldn't be a dish without onions. So we're gonna start with 2 large Vidalia, like how I pronounce that, not Vidalia. In the South they pronounce it Vidalia, or sweet onions. And then slice them up long ways into like thick kind of strands like this. That's exactly how we want them. Now let's take 2 green bell peppers and 2 red bell peppers. And we'll slice those up also into long strands and pull out all the seeds. And just like this, there's my green peppers, my red peppers, and I've added them to my onions. Alright, now let's get this party started with some sausage. Now for this recipe, I'm going to use 2 pounds of sausage, and that's going to be Italian sausage. Make sure it's Italian sausage, and that can be either sweet sausage or hot sausage. We can use one or the other. I like to use both. So I have a pound of hot sausage and a pound of sweet sausage. Whichever you use, do try to make sure it's Italian sausage and make sure that it's completely raw and uncooked, alright? So if you want to just use hot sausage, you can use 2 pounds of hot. If you want it to be just sweet, use 2 pounds of sweet. Just use 2 pounds of raw Italian sausage. Nice and thick. Now let's go to the Instant Pot and add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So now let's give our pot some heat. We'll come down to the control panel and hit the saute button and make sure that we're on the more or the high setting, and we do that by hitting either the saute button to adjust, or there's some models that have a button that literally says adjust and do it on that. And I swear this didn't just grow a tail, it's the cord that's moving around because it's, I guess there's a ghost in here. And after about 3 minutes of our oil nice and heated, we're going to lay in our sausage. And we can try to fit in as much as possible. And we could do it in batches. This is about most of my sausage. And we want to brown it for about 3 to 5 minutes total. And we're going to let it brown on each side for about 1 minute as it cooks in the olive oil. And after about a minute of placing it in the pot, just flip our sausage over. You see that? It's like lightly browned. And you'll see the edges might start coming out of the casing a little bit, just like that. You know, protruding a little bit. That's fine. Let it be like that. And once our sausage is nice and seared and lightly browned like this, let's just transport it and move it to a cutting board. Okay, and now I'm going to head back to my Instant Pot, and let's add in 2 tablespoons or 1/4 of a stick of salted butter, and then stir that around in the pot. And then as you're stirring around the butter, make sure you deglaze the bottom of the pot with anything that might have been stuck on it when the sausage was cooking. And now that our butter is all melted and sizzling with the oil, let's add in all of our vegetables, our peppers and our onions. And now let's stir all of that up in the pot so it's mixed up with all of the oil. It's going to pretty much come to the brim. This is a 6-quart, so an 8-quart will also be great for this. 3-quart, you'll definitely want to have everything. Really make sure you get under there and mix everything up so that all of the veggies get coated with the oil and the butter. And we're going to want to let this cook down for about 10 minutes. Alright, and as we're letting all of our veggies cook and simmer down a little bit, let's focus on our sausage again. Okay, so now let's take our sausage and slice it up into about 1/2 inch size discs. So it looks just like this. You see what I mean? Each piece will not be fully cooked. We don't want it to be. We just want it to be slightly seared. But it's much easier when you sear the edges because it makes everything retain its form. And it's really just the best way to do it. It's better to cut it up after you sear than before. And by the way, the reason why we seared the edges, in addition to it giving a little bit of a slight little crisp at the edges, is also because it's easier to cut when it's in this state. So it's not going to be fully cooked at all. But each link here we can cut into about 5 pieces. That's going to be about 1/2 inch. So just like this. And it's much easier. You'll still see that the meat will stay inside of the casing just perfectly. You see that? 5 pieces per link. And then in the middle of cutting up your sausage, make sure you give all of the veggies another stir. Again, we want to do this for about 10 minutes until they get nice and sauteed. And as they're cooking down, that's because they're losing water, and that means the water is going to help also deglaze the bottom of that pot to be nice and smooth and clear, which is exactly what we want. And also, because I know there are onion haters out there, if you hate them, you can leave them out and just do the peppers. I know people just call it sausage and peppers, but often it has onions too, and you gotta love, in my opinion, a sweet or Vidalia onion mixed in. Okay, and after about 10 minutes of our onions and peppers sauteing, we then want to add in 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic, as well as a teaspoon of oregano, and a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And now let's mix all that together in the pots for about another minute, as well as a half a cup of a dry white wine, like a Sauvignon Blanc or a Chardonnay. Now, if you don't want to use white wine, you can absolutely use a half a cup of chicken broth or a half a cup of garlic broth. But the white wine is amazing for this. Now let's give everything a final stir in the pot, making sure that we're deglazing, aka scraping the bottom that nothing is stuck on, which nothing should be. And now let's add our sausage back into the mix. And we are not going to stir that sausage in. Actually, you see all the little drippings from all the oil? Let it get in there as well. It's great stuff. And now, guys, we're not going to stir the sausage in like I said. Just leave it on top. We're going to secure our lid, make sure that we're in the sealing position. And now we'll come back to our control panel and hit the keep warm cancel or just the cancel button depending on your model. And we want to hit the pressure cook or manual button depending on your model. See, a lot of this depends on the model you have, but it's all very simple. It does the same functions. We want to go for 5 minutes, guys, at high pressure, and that's it. And now that we're done cooking, let's perform a quick release. And the pin just dropped, so let's take the lid off. And there are our lovely sausage and peppers. Look at that. Now let's just give everything a stir in the pot, and you'll see it's the perfect liquid ratio to the sausage and peppers and onions. And now, like so many recipes, I'm gonna add my own little spin to the sausage and peppers here. The reason why I have a lot of broth in there, a lot of flavorful broth, is because we're gonna thicken that up a little bit and make it almost like a rich, amazing sauce. Well, not almost, it will be. I want to add in 1 cup of a grated Parmesan cheese. Make sure it is grated. And I want to use a half a brick or 4 ounces of cream cheese, or you can use a 5-ounce package of Boursin cheese if you'd like as well. And I'm going to actually just crumble this up into little pieces here. And Banjo's totally hitting my leg right now because he's smelling this and wants some. Don't worry, my hands are clean, even after handling the sausage. And now let's stir all of this up inside of the pot with our sauce. And then once everything is nice and melded into the sauce, you're going to have a sausage and peppers unlike anything else, because this sauce is going to be rich and creamy and also cheesy. However, you do not need to add any of the dairy whatsoever. You can totally leave out the Parmesan and the cream cheese or the Boursin and just do it as is. But I like doing this because I feel like it sets it apart and it gives it extra rich flavor. All right, let's put this into a serving dish. All right, let's put some in a bowl. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful and delicious. And I'm using a slotted spoon for this because then I'll add more sauce as I see fit. And we are looking great. Look at all that cheese too. I feel like I should actually call this sausage and peppers Parmesan almost. Okay guys, we're ready to serve this, and you can totally eat it as is with like a nice loaf of a crusty Italian bread or French bread or baguette, whatever, bread's bread, or you can make an amazing hero out of it and really make it a true sausage Parmesan hero like I'm about to do. Let me show you. So first get like a baking sheet and put some foil on it, and then get a nice roll, like whatever you want, some Italian bread. This actually happens to be like a Portuguese roll. I just feel like it's nice and wide, and then it'll fit the sausage and peppers nicely. All right, let's just cut them down the middle. So you gotta make a nice slit for the sausage to go in. All right, so then open up one of the rolls and insert some of that sausage and peppers right into it. Be mindful of not having too much of the sauce in there. We don't want it to get super soggy. You can always use all that excess sauce to dip in, like I recommend. And then I'm gonna top each one with a slice of provolone cheese or 2 slices of provolone cheese. And now I'm gonna pop this in the oven and broil it. Or you can put it, if you can fit this in like, you know, an air fryer or have a crisp lid for your device, that's fine too. But I feel like the oven's just easier because it's so big and wide, this sausage sandwich. And there we have it, guys. I kept this in the oven for about literally 2 minutes at the top rack on broil, and I really watched it like a hawk. That took about 2 minutes, and it's super quick. And now it is time to dig in. And now I'm gonna cut into this hero. Look at this. And guys, look at this sausage Parmesan hero. Oh my God, I just gotta try it now. Richard, I got you an amazing, amazing hero over here, a sausage Parmesan hero. A nice big sausage Parmesan hero.
Thank you.
All right, So, not kosher. Look at how big this thing is.
I don't know if I want to eat this on camera. I'm all off camera anyway.
Okay, well, you're gonna. So let's just try it out. It might be hot, so. That's a lot of bread. Really good roll.
Oh, I got the sausage.
I have provolone cheese on top too. Now that is a sausage
That's very
sub.
good.
A sausage sub, hero, hoagie, grinder, set, wherever you're from. From New York, you call it a hero. That's delicious.
I call it po' boy.
Oh, loading this up. I have like a string of cheese. When you eat like French onion soup or anything cheesy on a first date, and if they still want to go out with you afterwards, it's fate. What do you think? It's like
It's very good. What did we have on our first date?
sausage. What did we had Thai food, and then I was
Quail, didn't I?
I don't know. I was
Duck.
just tied up with how beautiful your eyes were the whole night.
All right.
Well, we had Thai food, but now we're having Italian food. Sausage. I think we had sausage the second time we hung out.
Probably.
I mean, delicious. The cheesiness element to the sauce adds so much, in my opinion, flavor and differentiation between this and a typical sausage and peppers. You totally don't have to add it. It's totally fine if you don't. But again, I like to do things a little differently.
Add it.
It's cooked to perfection. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, Richard, you know what? Just try it on its own. Put that down for a second. All right. So here's the sausage and peppers, just on their own.
Let me do this.
You want to do it? It's so delicious.
What is this sauce?
You see, the sauce, I did it differently. I ended up adding Parmesan cheese, a cup of it, and I added in about a half a brick of cream cheese to it because it gives it a really great cheesy, creamy flavor as opposed to just a simple sausagey broth, which is totally fine too, and it's also a white wine base, but it just adds a lot more flavor to it, and you don't have to add any salt or anything like that because the sausage and the cheese, it all has it naturally in there. It's just, in my opinion, the way to go when you make this dish. And it couldn't be easier. It really is a set it and forget it recipe, all done really in one pot. It all is done in one pot. So it makes things much easier. Your life is so much easier. And I don't know, man, I gotta tell you, this is one of the best sausage parties ever. I love to cook with sausage. I just love to do it. What are you shaking your head for? I mean, because I like sausage? We all love sausage, a lot of us do. You need a sausage hero. Bada-bum. Delicious. If you don't feel like making a hero, like I said, just simply put it in here and take some bread and dip it in and lap it up with this amazing sauce, which is gonna thicken even more as it cools down. Divine. The best sausage and peppers ever. I almost want to call it sausage and peppers Parmesan because the sauce is like a Parmesan sauce. Guys, if you enjoy these recipes, check out pressureluckcooking.com because I have so many recipes. It's insane, and more just keep coming. How's that going for you? Check out facebook.com/pressureluckcooking and like that page for any updates anytime a new item comes out, deals, tips, humor, you know, things like that. And of course, at Pressure Luck to subscribe to me on YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. And while sausage and peppers is great to have any time of year, it's especially great to have really during the summer. So make sure you slip this one in on a menu so anyone can get in on it. Because we don't want to forget how amazing sausage and peppers can really be when it's done uniquely in the Instant Pot. Enjoy. Delicious. Look at all these peppers.